Hello guys, today I'm gonna be showing you how to make a Scratch 3D game. So something like this. We can move around and like I didn't like no interaction, but it's like an actual 3D game because you use arrow keys or WASD and you can go forward and backward. It's very cool. You can improve the graphics, but I'll be using simple ones. Something like this we'll be making. We don't need the scratch cat, so we can delete that. Then we can paint a new sprite, which is gonna be our hand. We can just zoom this out a little bit, and then we can put a line here, then a line here, so that it looks like you're in first person. Line here, and a line from here. This is gonna be your blocky hand. And we can convert this to bitmap and then take the paint tool and then you can paint your shirt whatever color you want. I'll just paint it yellow, and our hand will be a skin color because that will be more realistic right here. You can improve the graphics if you want, but I'll be using these simple ones. And then we can create another sprite, which is gonna be the crosshair in the middle. We're not gonna be using the crosshair, but we're just gonna be putting it so that if you want to make any interactions happen, then you can do that as well. We're not really gonna be programming this to do something. And we can take this, get the go to block, and then set it to 0 and 0. So when we click this, it goes to the middle of our screen. We can let this be where it's supposed to be, so we can get this to 0, 0 as well. And it's like we're in first person. And then we can make the background by going to backdrops. And then I'll convert it to bitmap as we're not really doing much art. And we can put the sky color first. And then we can get a block, a filled block, and then get some green. And let me just zoom out, yes, and do this, and that will be our ground. You can add a sun if you want. I'll just put a yellow circle like right here. Yeah, so this is gonna be our place, but we're not really gonna make the sun animate, so it won't look that realistic, but we're gonna make it so that it looks like 3D. So let's get a tree. I'll be using the tree from scratch, but if you want your own custom tree, then you can always make one in the paint tool. So let me just search tree, and tree one's over here. Yes, the tree loaded. We can get rid of costume one, and yeah, we've got the tree. We can now program the tree so that it looks like 3D. So we're not actually gonna move, we're gonna make the objects move around us so that it's gonna look like it's us moving. But it's actually the objects moving the opposite direction. So we're gonna make it both WASD and arrow key friendly. So let's get a forever loop, because forever, whenever we press the keys, it's gonna do something. So if we press the key D, well, let's just get W for now. Key press W, then we can, or let's put an R and then duplicate this, and W will be the up arrow key. So if we press up, then it's gonna look like it's coming close to us. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna change the size so it looks like it's coming closer to us. Because whenever we go close to something, the object appears bigger. So let's change size by 10. And when we press S, that means we're going away from it, so the size gets smaller. And we can maybe change this to 5. Then just duplicate this, and then get this to the down arrow, and then this to the S key. Then we can change the size by -5, so the size of the tree is gonna reduce. So when we press W, it looks like we're going close to it. When we press S, it's gonna look like we're going further away from it. Same with arrow keys. This is what I see when I press W and S simultaneously. Same thing with both the arrow keys. Now let's make it so that the tree moves left and right when we press A, D, or the right and left arrow keys. So we can just duplicate this and then put this to, if we press the D key, then it's gonna go it's gonna move. So the D key is gonna be the right arrow key. If we do that, we don't need to change size, we only need to change the X position. So we can change the X by 5. And when we press D, we need to change the X by -5, I mean. That was my bad. -5. So it looks like we're going this way, and the tree is getting out of sight. We can also make the same for A key, but we can make this to 5. So A key or left arrow, and we can, yep, that's our 3D game. When we press WASD or the arrow keys, it goes closer and becomes more. It looks like we're actually moving, but it's actually just the objects moving around us, so it looks like we are actually moving. The sun doesn't look like it's moving because we didn't animate it, but we can do the same thing for any number of objects. But you need to set the position in a different way, otherwise all of the objects will be lined up in the same position. So I won't be really making the interaction for these, so that will be our end of the video. Thanks for watching.